miles. I'll never do 100 miles.
Right.
But then I'm listening to him. He's like, yeah, well, every morning I run too. He's like, well, how much do you run every morning? I'm like, that's more my speed, you know? He's like, no less than 12 miles a day. I'm like, what? What?
You ever been like a runner, like a consistent runner?
Uh-uh.
I never have, but we did a 10K on the Grand Isle Beach.
On the beach?
Yeah, Q50 10K.
Dude.
Oh my
So they
God.
got it. You can either do a half marathon or a 10K. We did the 10K, and like we trained for like a month for it, man. But that was it. That was the end of my running career. 1 month.
I can't imagine
That was
doing a.
completely it. It was actually miserable on the beach because the wind's blowing. So you run. So a 10K is what? It's like I think it's 6.1 miles.
No
or
idea.
something.
Well, what's the K for? 1,000?
It's kilometers,
Oh,
which is 1,000 meters.
what an idiot.
Kilometers. Get it?
So,
Freaking metric system, dude.
I'm not more impressed that you ran a 10K. I'm more impressed that you ran a 10K on the Grand Isle Beach.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So one way, it's really easy because you're going with the wind. And then on the way back, when
Dude,
you're
how come
tired-
everything we talk about revolves back to the wind?
The wind, dude. Freaking wind, bro.
But on the way back,
South Dakota, Seminole, the whole 9 yards, Grand Isle, pushing Dylan north.
North.
so the whole way yeah, dude, and it was crazy because we started off and I think I told y'all before, like my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, they're ultra runners, right? They ran these 100-mile marathons and stuff like that.
You was about to get what you called it? You watched too much
ID channel. Dude, I saw that
Well,
plays on my
I was about
TV.
to say, did you think it was another episode of Shady Goes to a Shady Place?
I don't know what happened. Oh. That's
No,
it.
she's all into like plantation.
Dude, they have ghosts
So
here. Let's sleep here.
That's exactly her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
That's why I
and
call her Wednesday. That's how that started. Yeah.
Her and Amber need to go to a place. Absolutely.
No, that's where Wednesday comes from. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, with your beach story, running on the beach.
Oh yeah. So one way you're running with the wind, and then the opposite way you're running against it.
Right.
So for the first half, you run with the wind, right? And they had people in front of me that were like marathon runners and like legit runners, and I knew they were. And me like trying to talk myself into not stopping was like, keep up with them, keep up with them, keep up with them.
Yeah.
I'm not built for that, dude. I was not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
They take off. I'm trying to keep up. By the time I got to the halfway point and I had to turn around, I look at my watch. I'm like, there's no way I'm finishing this thing because I got here too quick.
Yeah, that's when I watched a video the other day. It's a dude that does, it was 100 miles they did in 24 hours, just nonstop. And he's like, you watching him, he doesn't break a sweat like the whole time. And he's like,
It wasn't David Goggins?
no.
No.
No,
He's
it's
like-
it's a lot more like common than you think.
Yeah.
Like runners.
Well, David Goggins just does it because it's Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
And, like,
Literally.
he wakes up and he's like, got to get this inner bitch out of myself right now.
Yeah.
But this guy was like, yeah, we did the first 10 miles. We're going good. First 20 miles, going good. Then he's like, first 50, they got popsicles. And I'm like, dude, I eat a popsicle, I get the shits. Like, I'm not eating that, been running 100 miles. And he's going, he's like, all right, yeah, now we're down to the first 70 miles are done. I'm thinking to myself, like, it's only up to 100. It's not
Yeah.
the first 70 miles.
Yeah,
We're in
it's these 70 miles. Yeah.
So he gets that, he goes, now this is where the real race begins. I think to myself, like, dude, if I ran 7 miles,
Yeah.
I'm gone.
My biggest race would be from the car getting to the starting line because I'm like, I'm about to run 100 miles. No. That would be my biggest race right there.
Dude, like we did a few 5Ks and we did that 10K. The 10K is the longest. But like even the 5Ks, before it starts, your adrenaline is pumping so hard.
What this was for?
This was just for us to do it.
Like
We
it was
just
just a
wanted to do
race
it.
thing? It wasn't.
It was like, hey, you want to run? Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
sign up for a 10K though. We got to do it.
You did it with
know?
Shady?
Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
Jeez, y'all are crazy.
We both did it. It took me like an hour and I think it was like an hour,
How many miles?
like 6.
6
You were
miles.
running at the time? Like,
No.
what?
Yeah, no. I was just going to the gym and I was like, you know what? I hate cardio. I don't want to do it.
So I'm going to do it all in Grand Isle that day.
I was like, if I
I'm going to
sign
do
up,
all the cardio.
if I sign up for a race and I spend money on it, then I'm obligated to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna do it.
Motivation.
Right.
That's how I kind of. So when we went, I was, I don't know, 12. Went bungee jumping. Well, we went to this fair in Texas, and we walk up to the place and we see the bungee jumping thing. And my dad looks at me, he's like, you want to go? And I had a red mohawk at the time. Just started playing guitar, skateboard. I'm like, I ain't afraid of nothing, bro. I'll go. I'm like, let's go on some other rides first. Look at the Ferris wheel. Let's go on that. We go in there knowing damn well how scared I am of heights. But if I start something, I'm like, I gotta finish it. Once I start, that's all I need is that start. So my dad's like, you want to go on the bungee jump? I'm like, no, let's do that swing. They got the swing. They bring you up and they drop you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So me and my sister go in there, and they were like, all right, who wants to be on the pool side? And
I'm like, what?
You got to pull your own string.
Oh.
They don't just drop you.
Oh.
So you could be up there for hours.
This dude.
So I
Not knowing
thought,
if you can pull it or
yeah.
not.
So I was like, no, I'm gonna go on it because I looked at my sister's face, and Caitlin was like, I guess and I was like, no, me. So
You do it by yourself, or you
it's like
side by? No, I mean,
no, side by side, yeah.
Yeah.
So we link arms, we go up, and they're like, all right, on 3, 1, and I was like, nope, right,
Yeah.
go down, and then you just drop, and then you swing whatever.
That dictates her too. Like
Yeah,
when you oh yeah, because
we're
when
connected
you
all in the
pull,
same
yeah,
safety
yeah.
vest. So we do that, and my dad's after. He's like, you want to go bungee jumping? I was like, yeah, bro. I mean, I bungee jump. I'm a bungee jumping fool, pops. I don't know if you noticed about me. No, it's damn well. I'm like, when you climb up the first, and it wasn't high at all.
Don't forget he has a red mohawk at this time.
Oh, dude, it was so badass.
I did forget. I'm glad you reminded me.
But we get to the top, and he's strapping in my shoes and all, well, around my feet, and I was wearing those big old etnies
Yeah.
at
Oh,
the time.
bro.
And I looked at the guy, and I was like, I'm doing this without my shoes. He's like, well, you going to come back up? And I just took my shoes, and I threw them off. I was like, I don't trust him. He's like, it's not connecting to your shoes, dude. I'm like, no. So he hooks up my ankles. I'm like, all right. And he goes, now lean forward. And he's like, your best bet, if you've never done this before, is just start leaning. Because you're going to get to a certain part where you can't stop yourself and jump back. I was like, oh, dude, I got this. Bungee jumping fool over here. I lean forward. And he's like, all right, on 3. He must have counted to 35. I was just there for an hour. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, all right, you got it. And I start leaning forward, and I felt it. All that wind goes straight out of you, and cold ass.
I feel like I like
cold
that.
sweats.
I feel like that's a fun.
And it wasn't that high, like I was saying, because it's at a fair, so they had to set it up and everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But still, and I fell, and it was one of those things where it's like, who was it? Will Smith talks about skydiving, and he's like, you're so afraid of it, until you do it. That is the most. You didn't realize how fun it could possibly
Correct.
be, and like then apply that to life.
Oh man. So
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna be able to directly quote it, but he says Will Smith that there's no such thing as fear.
Keep
right?
my wife's name. Oh,
No, not that part. But he said that there's no such thing as fear. So like you can be scared of something, but that's just you being scared of something. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as fear. You teach yourself how to be
Mhm.
afraid of something. So I was, of course, listening to it and applying everything to us, music and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
And I remember when I don't even know if we had played anything yet, any shows at all, much less acoustic stuff, that I was freaking terrified, absolutely nervous, well, I always get nervous, but absolutely terrified and didn't know what to think. Like, not to say it was, what if we fuck up? Like, no, it wasn't that. It was, I don't know what to do, And then the coolest part was I had already had both of y'all saying, because you always say stuff like, what, we could be okay. Just roll with it.
Just-
Do it.
yeah.
Just play music.
we're gonna take care of it. Just
And Dylan always says, dude, you just gotta play, man.
Bruh,
Like,
just
just gotta
Just
do
gotta
it.
do it.
Just do it.
Just fucking.
So that was the mentality of going into the first, shows, still going into like shows now, is, bro, you just got to do it, Now it's getting a little more hype to where y'all get to play that first song first,
Yeah, when
and
we
then
start
I come,
figuring it
which
out,
really
yeah.
just pumps me up. But after shows, which I hate the after show because it's fun and we just had a grand old time, but it means that show's done, right?
Mhm.
That really is a big downer for me because it's so fun and you're so high, but it's like, man, I can go for another 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, these shows, even the acoustic stuff, is I still get really nervous, which I think is a good thing.
It
But
shows you care.
with us
sure.
three, it's constant. Dude, chill. Just roll with it. Do it. Have fun. Do it. And being a part of this, what I feel like it's a team. This team is really just dude, get the fuck over it and go do it. And
Yeah.
then every time we do that, or I do it because y'all tell me to do it, 3 hours later I'm like, can we go some more?
Yeah,
And it doesn't happen.
Especially like you get that first song starts and you start playing and everything. Because look at the difference of how we were the last podcast we had did.
Yeah.
We were, you already had your first 3 songs out, but we weren't really gigging. We maybe played a few shows, but like
no, I don't think we.
Not even. I think you had just played that Bex by yourself acoustic and you sat up in the sun.
Yeah.
I think you had talked about that, but so like we were still on the talks and like we talked so much. That's one thing I tell Amber. She's like, or anybody. Right. They'd be like, oh, how do you think they're gonna feel about that? I'm like, we talked about it from 8 a.m. this morning till lunchtime.
Yeah.
Like we talk about it nonstop. But how different and how far we've come, especially doing that. Now you understand that it's not you.
Correct.
You don't have to worry about that because now you're more comfortable. Even though you knew from the jump that like me and Dylan, or Cody and Dale as well, you knew that from the jump, like they know what they're doing. But now you understand that's a big difference. So it's like, I don't have to worry about that. I got to worry about showing up, getting the job done, and being me.
And I was never concerned, so to speak, about you guys. Like, I was never concerned about y'all being a part of the band.
Mm.
I was more concerned about me screwing up and y'all being like, what the hell? But what was so cool for me was it was such, like, there's no great moment. Like, there's no, oh my God, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, the entire show is just the show. And every time I look at any single one of y'all, it's always like, dude, this is just like we played at practice. This is just like we're playing. We're talking in a group message for 10 hours a day. Like, it's the same repetitive, reciprocal shit. Like, we just us, and that is one thing that really pumps me up, especially because, like I was telling Dylan earlier when you were setting up all the stuff, the song "She Was Mine," right? So that the first G.
Thank you, Vanna White.
The first. This is camouflage. You can't see her.
John Cena's on the set.
The first G on that song. This is just gonna be like for the music side of it, but the first G on that song is, well, the way I kind of put it together was dun 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 dun. All right, so me doing that, I don't have the, I can't think of the right word, but I don't have the mental and physical capacity to sing it and do dun 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 dun. So the other day when he was hitting the licks, doing the same thing I was doing, but in the correct style, it was so easy to remember a time running wild and free, except for remember a time running wild and free. Like, it screws me up so much, and that is just bands. Like, that is the teamwork, not just like I hate playing by myself.
If you talk to musicians that like been around, they know what's going on. They really know that their job is their job.
Yeah.
If you're a guitar player, it's your job to make sure you cover guitar. If you're a bass player, you cover bass, drums. So for you being singing, you should never be worried about guitar.
Right.
That's the whole point of having a band behind you. Is to support
and
you
having people knowing that they know what they're doing as well, because that's a whole different animal of having it.
Well, that's another thing too. I feel like the more we, the practices are awesome, but the more we actually get up there and play, it's just like hanging out. We get to know each other that much more, and just everything vibes, everything goes, everything falls into place. And you get to see what you screw up on and what the other boys can pick you up on.
Yeah, because that's one thing we always do when we rehearse. Dylan brought it up that first time that he actually showed up to practice. He put it in his calendar.
My calendar's complicated.
But he was like, everybody pick a song that you think you might need to work on, or pick a song that there might be a part that we can be tighter in, whatever. So we go over the song, and then we, of course, naturally, you nail it.
Yeah.
In rehearsal.
Right.
And then you go there and you play live, and then there's songs that you think you got perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I don't have as much experience as you guys playing live stuff, but I know that so far the show must go on kind of attitude. You just got to freaking do it. Like, you just got to keep on going. So I know when I screw up, because I screw up 1,000 times in a gig. And when you're in practice, you can have the balls to say, whoa, Let's do that one more time. Start from right there, you know?
Mhm.
Live, no, you know? But correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I'm pretty sure 99% of the time, no one gives a shit. As
No.
long
Or
as you
hears it,
are
I'm
working
sure.
together and making it work together, they're listening to the song, not the practice version of the
And
song.
there's big differences too. If something's actually wrong, if somebody's actually playing something wrong,
Yeah, like me singing a half step ahead of you at,
that
at
whenever
the
whenever
crawfish boil.
whenever
Yeah,
we're
if
at
you're like
rehearsal,
out of key, like obviously.
Yeah.
whenever we're at
Every once in a
rehearsal,
while.
I'm like, "Hey man, you're out of key.
Yeah,
Let's stop and let's redo it over."
yeah,
That at practice, you have to be such close people and such good bandmates,
Right.
if you want to use that term, to be like,
yeah.
when you started the "I'm in a hurry to get things," whatever.
So
But-
shout out to Bubba because what he's referring to is last weekend or the weekend before, whatever it was at the Thibodeau boil off. We played "I'm in a Hurry," Alabama, and I sang it, which is in G, and I sang it,
in the F sharp.
yeah,
Yeah.
like way higher.
Perfectly. No.
No,
Well,
half
it-
step
well,
lower.
it was flatter, right?
But
Right.
you think, yes.
Yeah, half step.
And
half
then
step down.
and then when y'all started, I was like, oh my God, something's wrong, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I was just singing it, which that key is making me sing it stronger because it's a higher note or whatever. But shout out to Bubba for going, hey, live, hey, you're singing it too high, cut it back. And then when I sang it in the right key, he went,
I looked at JP and I went, "Hey man, you're a half step down. It's really bad."
and Bubba,
And he goes, "I can't find it." And I just went, "I'm in a."
Yeah.
All right. And he goes back up and
and then we.
I'm going.
And then we hit the last part of the song. Boom, ends. Dylan says, "Did y'all hear that?" I'm like, "No."
JSA's over here, man. God, it documents everything.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's what a band's for, dude. It's to back you up. It's to make you feel comfortable enough that you don't have to worry about the music.
Yeah, and
It's that simple.
I mean, to speak naively, I guess I didn't going into it. I didn't even realize that was the point. You know, I was so still am so concerned that I need to make sure, as inexperienced as I am, to be on y'all level. But bro, Cody's right here all the time, right? And I mean, I look back and he's always like, so I mean, it's that already. It's that no, yes, no, next, it's and that's just live stuff. But I know it can be practiced more, obviously, whenever we can rehearse. But what I'm trying to get at is band equals teamwork, and that's literally all it is. Because me as the front man, y'all don't understand how pumped up I get hearing y'all play.
Oh, we
you know? Oh,
Oh yeah.
Dude looks like he's in a Day to Remember music video, bro.
dude, where? Oh, it was yeah, it was us three playing at the boil off. Dude, I thought I was gonna put my foot through the stage, because
Oh,
I
you was
think that's
stomping.
just riveted right there, and I must have been in the crack,
No telling.
dude. And I was doom doom doom, and I'm like, it seems like it's gonna move. Not to mention Bex. Oh man, every time I do it at Bex, I swear Chris is gonna be like, bro, chill.
Hey,
Your
bro.
foot's about to go straight through.
Hey, bro, I know I'm in Germany and all right now, and they leave it. Like, if you fuck up my floor, I swear
Yeah.
to God, dude, I swear to God, JP, never again at my bar. Maybe on Sundays.
Yeah, shout out to Chris in Europe, while we're doing this at least.
No, but that's it's fun because like I look at my only experience with that before I had the calling home stuff,
Yeah,
and we were a band, and like we don't play at all. We barely talk anymore, but we're still brothers. Like
So-
I met up with Brennan.
so calling home was after teenage years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
because that was like Noogie and I was in that.
Yeah, that was Noogie, Nick.
Oh
me,
yeah, Nick on drums.
Brandon
Yeah.
Boone,
Yeah.
and Brennan. But we were like brothers. We were together all the time, every single day, and it just so happened that we played music. But Nick wasn't in it in the beginning. Noogie wasn't in the beginning. Boone wasn't in the beginning. It was just me and Brennan, and we had Corey Duplichin and Sam LeCompte playing with us
There you go.
from the jump.
Dude.
So we like, this is it,
Right.
And then we write the songs, and they're like, they were halfway there. And we started playing them, and Sam would write the drum parts or whatever, and Corey D, he could play the same song 100 times, and it's going to be 100 times fucking different. But Corey went on tour with Tab at that time, and we needed a bass player. And we also knew that Sam was having his kid on the way. So we're having to audition bass players and drummers at the same time. So we auditioned my cousin Dustin first, and he came in and he was playing all this. He walked in with a 6-string bass.
Jesus.
And I was like, man, this is
It's a lot to keep up with.
a 4-string bass band. Max. Maybe a 3-string band, you know.
I appreciate it to the
3-string.
max. I just don't know how a band like keeps up with a 6-string bass.
But that was Dustin. So like he would play all this, you know, to arrive at the point we were playing the song Blind, and the song's called Blind. And he just came in out of nowhere, high up on some notes, and I'm like, that's it. And we stopped, and he goes, why don't you start the song with that on guitar? On the record, that's how the song started. It's on guitar now. It's just a do no 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 no, and he was doing that doom 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 doom. But it didn't work out with him, and then we got a few more people, whatever. And then I went watch Forgetting Last Friday play with Nick and all them, and
that's Harley,
Noogie, Brandon,
Dude,
and
hot.
Nick.
They were hot.
Oh yeah,
Like they were gaining.
Like
they're good together.
yeah. Because they gig so much, and it doesn't matter what you do. If you like the music, if you don't like the music, if you just do it repetitively, you're gonna get
it's a vibe too.
Better at it
for sure.
But we had talked to Nick. This is hilarious. We had talked to Nick about coming in on drums, and we had knew Nick in the past before because when we were in the teenage band, Nick was in another band called The Risen. So we were Uprising. They were The Risen. So they were already past tense. But Nick always had a tempo problem. Like, couldn't get to a click track. Always had a tempo problem, whatever. So me and Brendan were like, you sure, man? You want to try him? I'm like, yeah, man, it's Nick. It's our buddy. Let's get him. So let's say it was Tuesday morning. I text Nick. I'm like, hey, man, would you be interested in auditioning for Calling Home? He goes, I don't audition. Do y'all want me to play? I go, hey, man, would you be interested in auditioning for Calling Home? He's like, yeah, for sure. I'm like, all right, here's 3 songs. He goes, all right, when y'all want to get together? I go, this afternoon. He's like, where at? I'm like, Brendan's dad's house. Brendan's dad has a fucking bomb-ass studio right out the road in Raceland. So he's like, all right. So he shows up. We gave him, he also worked the whole day. So we probably had 30 minutes to listen to the songs. Get over there. And we have an electronic drum set up that sounds like just straight 808s from the 80s.
Oh, that's so messed up.
Yeah, right. He gets there, and like the first song we started playing was Blind. And he starts playing it, and it just starts, and Nick's rock and roll, bro.
Yeah.
He's fucking rock and roll, hard drummer, bro.
Yeah.
He starts and just, and there's supposed to be nothing. And I look at Brennan, and we're playing it, and I'm like, it's Nick. We're playing the dude, and he just fucking starts killing it off tempo. So like we finish that and we go into another song. We go into No Next Time, and I think we wrapped that song up, and we just hung out. We drank some beers, and we're like, all right, that's cool. Nick leaves, and me and Brennan like, man, Nick's such one of our good friends. I wish he played drums better. Because he didn't fucking make it at all, dude. So we got someone else, and we played some. It's fucked up.
Go back, dude.
Like, I wish he was better, man, but like, he fucking sucked. Fuck you, Nick.
Dude, you're making my point I made right before this really shitty.
Oh no! Don't worry. This goes full circle. So right after
It doesn't
that,
suck at all. That's the thing.
Exactly. So right after that, we get buddy Corey Walker to come play with us. He does a few shows with us. He did fucking awesome. Then there was like a few gigs that we had coming up. Corey couldn't make it. So we're like, well, let's get Nick. And we had, that's when me and Brennan just started renovating the venue.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we had the whole hall to
That
rehearse.
was
Yeah, that was a while back.
Oh, yeah. So
I didn't realize it was that long ago.
So that's what y'all rehearsed?
So we finally, now we have a room. We're like, Brennan.
Jeez.
Brennan brought his kid. We're like, Nick, look, bro, here's the songs. Come in. We gave him 2 weeks this time. We gave him a full drum set in-ear monitors, everything. Nick comes in and fucking kills it.
Slams it.
Bro.
Yeah.
And right when we finished, I was like, Nick, I knew you had it in you, man. Do it, man. He's like, you said I suck, dude. I was like, I said, he's like, you looked at me and you said I suck. I was like, I knew you had it in you, man. I knew you were good. And I think it was later that night, we won't watch Forgetting Last Friday play. Noogie was with them. Still didn't have a solid bass player. And I text Noogie, I'm like, hey, man, would you want to play with Colin home? He calls me. We're both fucking, it's like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
He calls me, he's like, you serious, dude? You fucking serious? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man. Was waiting on that. I was like, you were waiting on him?
Dude, had
I'm
plenty.
like, why didn't you say anything? We've been posting on Facebook for like 2 months now looking for somebody. But to arrive at the point is that whenever we got to it and we would all play, it's just like whenever we play together. You know, even like the acoustic thing for the Mudbug Ball Off.
Yeah.
You know, you're singing, I'm playing the chords, Dylan's playing the chords. Me and Dylan are going at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Right behind
Fuck
you.
yeah.
Right.
Always.
Having the best time ever on stage.
Yeah, I could see that, and you know, not only do I see it, I could feel it because I hear what the hell y'all doing, right? So, the beautiful thing with monitors is I can actually hear you guys, right? And I know we always joke, but we either with the in ears or when we have a monitor actually working and pushing towards us, or wherever we're playing, we have a monitor in our face. Bubba always says, JP ought to be good for 3 hours because he can hear himself, right?
Hear himself. It's
Right.
You know, and
Yeah,
look,
that's a
bro,
great thing,
Bex,
man.
I can't hear. When we play in Bex, no matter what, I can never hear myself sing, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's why I'm always screaming so loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
yeah,
why.
that
yeah.
too. Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
blame it
why.
on that.
That's
I blame it
why.
on
Yeah,
that. See,
yeah.
now y'all know why. But so that being said, I still hear the shit out of y'all, right? And again, the more we're playing, the more I'm like, oh yeah, that it's starting to all come together, right?
You hear the shit we talk to each other at all?
No, but I always, well, yeah, I hear y'all talking shit like between songs and stuff.
You hear like stage conversations at all? Like from
No, because I'm always focused on.
Dude, we'll do a whole podcast while you.
Oh,
Well, I'm always focused on what to say next and like looking and trying to work the crowd and see like what's going on and what I can say and how the crowd is responding. So no, I don't hear y'all bullshit after, but I do hear
It's
y'all
all
say
bullshit.
shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite parts of that show was I went to get y'all 2 beers. I forget what song it was. Maybe Weatherman.
Seminole win.
It
Oh,
was-
Weatherman.
Weatherman,
Yeah,
right?
it was Weatherman.
And it was just y'all 2 going after it.
Yeah.
And number one, it gave me a break, but also it was just so cool walking back up and seeing y'all because y'all were right next to each other.
So yeah,
right?
imagine if that was full band doing that.
Well, okay, well that's another thing. You know, another thing, Bubba, you're normally here, and Dylan's always on the
I
opposite
show
side.
up, he's set up in my spot with an acoustic.
Well, wait. So,
Fucking safety, man.
well, wait, Dylan, I'm on your side on
I
this
had
one. We
power.
didn't think you were gonna come because you were hungover, right? And we know how valuable your hangovers are to you. So,
I had no faith
Dude,
in you showing
dude,
up.
when my
Not
wife-
a single
dude,
ounce.
dude, when
Serious.
my wife hears me talk about
Serious.
how vulnerable Bubba is to his hangover, she's gonna be like, "Bruh, that's the pot calling the kettle black," right?
All right, so
Hey,
let's
me
also
too.
jump
I'm
into
done
this.
for like 2 days if I got a hangover.
Oh yeah, I'm off tomorrow, by the way. So
I'm full blooded. Look, wet towel right here. You know, if a little bit of sun creeps through, you know, stuff like
Mm,
that.
I don't put the wet towel because I don't want no one to know I'm that much of a bitch.
Oh,
but
dude, I let
I
them
definitely-
know.
no, at the
Yeah,
house
no,
by myself,
I-
man. I don't care at all.
Yeah, and then
I let
like,
freedom ring.
yeah, like, well, I shouldn't tell y'all this because my wife's gonna be mad. But I run the water
Don't
sometimes,
tell us
like
that.
on the shower, like letting their shower run. So I hear that wet towel in my head.
What's your
and
water
just-
bill?
Oh, she pays the water bill, so I don't know. But she tells me when it's high, and that's usually when I'm hungover.
Dude, mine's like $60, but it's because I'm in town.
What?
Yeah, my water bill's like $60 in town.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
Serious?
yeah. I mean, I don't think this is worth video, but you just,
You can cut it out.
yeah, you can cut it out.
No,
yeah,
this
you
is the
just
most
reminded me.
interesting part of
No, I
this.
fucking hate it though. But the town has its own sewer, right? Town Lockport.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You
I
get
forgot about- I
charged for
forgot about that.
trash. So yeah,
You get charged for trash,
We get charged for trash.
dude. You need to come to the promised land, bro.
In that land, you a
That-
land baby.
That land, that Northland.
Dude,
Come to that Northland, bro.
Dylan is such a lock portion. It's not even funny. That's his stomping grounds now.
Oh, and he said that the other day. He was like, when I went pick him up, because God forbid, what was it? What I had the night before? I don't know. A Saturday. We had rehearsal on a Sunday.
For what? For which show?
Last rehearsal that we had.
This
Oh,
dude
yeah,
picked me
yeah.
up. He had a whole bottle of Pedialyte in his cup holder.
Oh, at
Let's
Cody's
get
house.
the context right.
No,
Yeah.
well, that's where I'm getting at. I'm sitting there and I'm laying in bed and I'm like, look at my phone. I'm like, all right, it's 2:30 p.m. I have to be there for 4. Set an alarm for 3. I'm like, I'm taking me a nap.
Yeah. Freaking PM.
30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, and that's all I need. 30 minutes. That's all I need.
So after that,
Dylan calls me. Mute it.
bro.
Lay down.
Mute
Then
it.
I just feel. I look at it. It's our group message. It's the band group message. It's Dylan. I'm like, all right, cold shower it is.
Yeah.
Jump in the cold shower. Jump back out. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Stop at CVS. Got me a Pedialyte. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
You probably
so
drank
good. I
wine
need
that
a
night.
Pedialyte.
You seemed like you had a wine
I
hangover.
forgot what I did.
Yeah, that's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
worst hangover.
Amber peer pressures him when she puts those bottles on the table and they start drinking wine.
Oh, no doubt. Next thing you know, your teeth are red.
Yeah,
and then
Bubba
you got
can't handle
acid
that.
reflux.
That's 3 p.m. sleep and ignoring your text.
I'm waiting for my fiance to run through the door right now because I told her to pick me up a box of Frenzia last time.
See?
Look, there she is.
How'd you
I've
see
been
her?
drinking a Snoop Dogg wine, dude. I'm so stuck on it.
Oh yeah, I tried it once. I like it. It's not really my style, but
For what?
I do like the Snoop Dogg wine.
Oh, the 21 Crimes? Yeah, we were talking about it. You had, yeah.
It's 2119 or something like that.
21
19.
Crimes.
It's something
19
crimes.
crimes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but that's not the Snoop Dogg wine. Huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg. And then Martha's got the white.
Yeah, no, his face is just on it.
Dude, y'all seen Martha lately?
It's on it. It's Sports
I
Illustrated.
saw it. Yeah. Hey,
Hey, you're gonna find that next year in a hunting blind.
So anyway, getting back to the point of the show, we went from Bubba showing up to the Mudbugs to wine drunk to bro. Y'all seen the Sports Illustrated of Martha
Did
lately?
you forget about his water bill?
$60 in
But-
town.
Jesus Christ.
before
In
the,
town.
before the ball off the night before at 1:30 a.m. you texted us.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, remember when y'all said don't get drunk because we have to play tomorrow early?
I
Yeah.
said,
I got drunk.
I said I did that thing and got completely fucking trashed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
that you did.
Yeah.
And so anyway, Philip had asked me, he said, can you like roughly 11 o'clock sound check? It's not your band, right? I'm like, no, it's not the band. It's just be us 3. He said, okay, and just one vocal. He said, okay, sounds good. So 11 o'clock sounds good. So Dylan texted me on the way and said, I'm on the way. I said, well, I'm in front of you. I'll tell you where to park as soon as you get here. We parked, got the guitars on stage, and we did sound check without you. And then he said, no, it was you had texted me before, and you said, you needed something, a strap or something like that.
I needed cables.
You had called.
I did need a strap, yeah.
He
So
said,
that's how little faith that you had in me because I bought you cables the day
That's right.
before.
That's right.
And when I showed up, you were like, I didn't know where to park. And you were like, yeah, we're walking over there because Dylan needs cables.
This is like 15 minutes before we started, though.
what cables? Guitar
cables.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was a strap. My bad.
Well, no, it needed
you
the
just
strap
didn't
as
have a
well.
strap.
I didn't have a strap either.
Yeah.
I'm a
But
needy.
he needed cables. And I was like, I was confused. I was like, I bought him cables. I told him I was going to bring him to the show. Why?
Well, you have little faith though.
I did. I had little.
Hey,
faith.
bro.
So wait,
I will never.
I'm not
miss
gonna
you
lie
guys.
because on the way I tried to call you. I texted you. I blew the horn.
First of all, I
Passing
thought
in
you
front of
wanted
your
me to
house.
go pick you up from Lockport. That's why I didn't answer. The
No,
phone.
no. God, that's fucked up.
takes 3 of us to play the show. We show up in 3 different trucks.
Right.
But so Dylan texted me on the way over there and said, "Hey, I need cables or whatever," which I didn't know at the time. I thought she had said straps, but whatever. So I need cables. You want me to go get them or something like that? I was like, "That's on you because I haven't talked to Bubba since 1:30 this morning when he texted us that he was drunk." So I'm like, "Whatever." Wasn't a big deal because we were gonna play no matter what. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But then you showed up like when you called. And well, I guess you didn't have to sound check because you just had
Well,
your
that's what I
shit
was.
plugged
That's
in.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking
Just
the
one
entire
line
time.
bike,
Yeah.
Right.
So Dylan was
That's
like,
what I was thinking.
Dylan was like, "You think he's gonna show up?" I'm like, "I have no fucking clue."
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, "Hey, did you hear from him?" He's like, "Dude, I ain't his daddy." Like,
But it was
I was
also.
like, hey, good point.
Hey,
dude.
give me
Good
some
point.
credit because it was only 1:30, dude. If I would have texted you at 5:30 a.m., that would have been a whole different thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s. All right.
I'm 29, bro. I still got one
1:30
more.
is 5 a.m.
I still got one more year
How
left.
late you stay up?
What are you trying to say? When you get to 30, you got to settle down?
I tell you what, last night I was sleeping by 9:25, and this morning I woke up at 7, and it was the most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called sleep.
Oh, I get 8 hours. Don't worry. I always get 8 hours. I might be late, but I get 8 hours.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. Like drunk sleep is harder on me than sober sleep because
It doesn't count.
yeah, like your
Yeah.
body, well, your mind, I guess, is still like still rolling.
It's horrible sleep. You never
Yeah.
getting that, like, if you watch Joe Rogan, like we were talking about earlier, he says something like drunk sleep is like just weak. Like it's
Yeah.
not.
Well, your body doesn't replenish itself because it can't, because you just depleted the piss out of it,
Well,
right?
that too, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
completely dehydrated. But
Right. So I mean, I haven't today's 42 days I haven't drank,
it's
and
impressive.
I'm just doing it for
Dude, that's
75
so
hard.
fucking impressive, dude.
But dude, I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe how like it just is what it is. It's really not that big of a deal.
It's not because
Because
every time I go to Saudi, like my first hitch in Saudi was 90 days, no alcohol at all.
speaking of,
90 days.
how many hours that is from New Orleans to Saudi altogether?
It's a few different flights. So if you go like flight hours, it's probably about 20 hours.
Okay, so how long does it take you? Which that's the same as no, it's past Europe. So you're what,
Yeah.
8 ahead? No, yeah, 8 hours ahead.
8 hours.
So how long it takes you to adjust?
You feel like shit for quite a few days for sure.
And you're there so 90 days. So like 4 or 5 days until you're
Yeah.
on Saudi time.
I'd
Yeah.
say at least, if you go on a rig right away, which a lot of times I did,
Well, you're on their time then.
you're on their time.
Yeah.
So like,
What was your schedule? So you were saying it was 90 days. It would just flip flop sometimes.
whenever I got hired, I did 45 and 45, which I mean equal time off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. That first hitch, I was asked to stay over, work an extra hitch.
Wait, 45 days and then 45 off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome, right?
Damn, that sounds good.
Right. So I took it. I went to first hitch.
Until you got to go back to work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had some stuff going on. I was asked to spend an extra 45. I'm not going to say no being a new guy.
How
right?
long ago was this? Like your first hitch out there?
Yeah, 2016.
So you had Wyatt?
No, not yet.
Not yet? What he just
Yeah.
turned?
5.
Oh, okay.
You was here when Wyatt was born?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
never miss a birth of a child. None
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, my company's really good at making sure, like, anything you need to be home for,
Right.
you're going to be home. Like, they don't play around with it. They're really good. Really
So if
good.
you just tell him, like, I need to drink a beer.
If you tell them, hey, man, I got this going on and I really want to be home for it,
Mhm.
yeah, you're going to be home for it.
Good.
They've always been good with that.
So when Wyatt was born, you were here and then you had to, like, 45 days or whatever, you had to go back?
Actually, they gave me 2 months off.
2 months off?
Yeah, I'll never forget. Every person in the company like called me whenever he was born.
What?
And it was great. Like, I
Yeah.
got the best work family ever, man.
Nice. That's
I really
nice.
do. So they supported me. They gave me 2 months off, which was a blessing, obviously.
Yeah.
You're just another human living in your house.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it was great. They're really good. But yeah, that first hitch was 90 days. It took 45 off, and then that was the schedule, was 45, 45. But somewhere along the way, we kind of just figured out, like, you know what, we don't have reliefs.
Mhm.
We don't have people we're turning work over to.
Y'all just.
Yeah, like, hey, man, give me a ticket there,
Mhm.
and I'll tell you when it's time to come back. You
Yeah.
know, I'll let you know when I need to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of worked out a little bit. But yeah, a lot of times it was 45, 45.
And you liked it when it was, well, off time? 45 was, you were still playing a shitload of music or no?
I was playing on my time off. That's whenever I was playing with Carrie a lot.
That was Drunk Punch
Like-
Ponies or Carrie's acoustic stuff?
No, Drunk Punch Ponies ended. I went overseas right away.
That was like 15, 14, 15.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like 16 maybe.
Because they were looking, I remember I was
Yeah.
living at my uncle's house and they were looking for a guitar player. And I think I just moved in with my uncle.
Right.
And that's when JP had actually,
You live down Landmark?
yeah, my uncle.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the first grocery on the right.
Well, I knew Nick did. I didn't know that you lived with him there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't know you lived down Landmark is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I lived there, I think, 3 years. I lived with Nick. That was whenever you had passed. I think it was you. That you had passed, and Nick was cutting grass,
Yeah. Well, I was looking for a house right there.
and you had honked the horn and
Yeah.
flipped them off.
Yeah.
You thought it was me,
Yeah, that was. I remember doing that. Yeah.
and my uncle's like, "I'm gonna kill this motherfucker."
Yeah. Fucking Nick. Yeah. So, no, go ahead. I was just thinking like time frame when all this was because you said you didn't.
I started in 16 and I went to Saudi in September of 2016. So it had to be.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have the video like on my email that I sent Carrie, and just show him that I can actually play guitar.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I messaged him. I was like, I never met Carrie in my life. I
Right.
had no idea who he was.
Right.
Dylan was like, not Dylan. JP was like, this band Drunk Punch Ponies is looking for a guitar player, and I was like, I've heard of him, and I've seen pictures of y'all shows, and I was
Right.
like, oh, they play to people.
Yeah.
Dude, we didn't have an empty show one.
Yeah,
It
man.
was so fun.
And this was before
I love those shows.
this was before
It was
calling
so
home.
fun.
So I was like, hell yeah, I'd be interested. So I messaged Carrie, and I was like, hey man, heard you looking for a guitar player. JP told me about it, whatever. And he's like, yeah man, so like you play? I was like, yeah. Look, let's just bypass all of that. I'm good at guitar. He's like, can I see? So I sent him a video. That's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
Sent him a video of me playing Cliffs of Dover, the intro to it.
Right.
And he was like, man, that's really good. Look, we play country.
I'm pretty sure he's never heard Cliffs of Dover too, though. Like that. I mean, he might have, but like, it's not like a popular song for like a country
There's
band
never-
to know.
Well, the whole point was
Outside
him to
of a-
show
yeah.
guitar skills off, so I can understand that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
understand that.
outside
It's
of
an
a
interview,
guitar, outside of a guitar player,
Yeah.
you know, like there's
Yeah.
no way Amber
She's not gonna
has ever
appreciate
heard that
it.
song. Yeah. Oh, she'd appreciate it.
Well, Carrie had asked me one day. He said, "How are you on guitar? You know, we're trying to look for a guitar player." I'm like, do you want Bubba's number?"
Worse than I am on singing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you had just started singing in like 2016 or 2015 as well.
Dude,
Think
it's so
so,
funny.
yeah.
So Drunk Punch Ponies was supposed to quit whenever I joined.
So let me get this straight because I'm pretty sure I remember this. That was you,
Do that. I'm gonna go to the restroom right quick.
you, Cody. Cody was on drums, right?
Right.
So they were in y'all sound.
Wait,
Correct.
Cody was on drums with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cody was the drummer. Yeah.
dude, there was a Drunk
And
Punch Ponies sticker on that drum.
It kind of fucked me
I
up
think.
a
Wait,
bit
is that?
too, bro.
Yeah, that was his original drums, huh?
Because like I always knew Carrie. Like I never played with Carrie before then. But I always knew him as like one of the best drummers. Like I personally knew.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
as a friend, you know. So it kind of messed me up, saying, "Man, I finally get to play with him, and he's singing and playing guitar. Like, what the fuck, you know?"
Dude, Brittany always says when he was in high school, like marching band,
Oh, he was a shit.
she was like,
dude.
bro, he was bad.
No, he's a real deal. He's a real deal on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No
But
doubt.
so, from what I remember, it was you, Carrie front, and then bass was
Trey
Trey.
Claymore, yeah.
But didn't Trey leave and then come back?
No,
No, he was always with y'all.
Yeah.
And then Cody was always on the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all used to pack the shit out of the ice house, of course. But what's the one down the bayou?
well, they had L'Esprit in the greenhouse.
Is it the same bar or no?
At one time,
Yeah.
L'Esprit moved to the greenhouse.
I always like that.
location.
Okay, well, I always like that stage, right?
Okay, yeah.
That stage is just cool. Like it's kind of
That's the
offset.
greenhouse, yeah.
The one that you got to go to the bathroom on the back side of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I always like that bar.
Yeah.
Just band-wise, right? And I think around that time, maybe one of y'all last shows playing there was when I was like, dude, I love this band. And I got that's when not even Carrie, Cody used to ask me, come sing the Fireman, you
Right,
know?
yeah.
And man, I had long hair, rips in my jeans, you know, shit like that. What an idiot.
Medium
you know?
t-shirt.
Yeah, oh, bro. Medium t-shirt, yeah. Yeah, remember those days. I'm in a large these days.
Large, not
yeah.
extra large.
So that, I mean, it's so funny, but around that time, well, Ice House too, was when Carrie and Cody would let me come up there and sing a song. And it was always Dinosaur and Fireman,
Right.
right? Which to this day, shout out Trey Landry, is one of my absolute favorite songs anyway, Dinosaur. But yeah, I used to love to play that shit with y'all. And I think I've told you this a million times, but I always remember because you used to put your damn cigarette in between the strings right there,
Yeah.
right? Like between
Yeah,
songs
yeah.
or stuff.
Like the
or
Eddie Van
play.
Halen thing, right?
Yeah, right,
Like the
right.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like
Yeah.
any guitar player that's a guitar player has a burn mark on their headstock.
Yeah, I got
Especially a
my
Strat.
white Les Paul.
Yeah, I feel like a Strat especially. You got to have that burn
So like, I
mark.
never even cared about Eddie Van Halen probably to about like 5 years ago.
Right.
I
And
I
I
was
get that. I do get
so like it wasn't my thing. Like I was never. I listened to. I skipped that. Like I listened to Allman Brothers, Beatles, and stuff
Right.
like that, CCR, and then with my dad, I would listen with Disturbed and stuff like that.
Right.
I started playing guitar. I started listening to John Petrucci and stuff like that. So I skipped the people who made Petrucci and
Right.
Satriani and Steve Vai and everything.
I never got into those guys, man. Like,
Well, because you were an
Petrucci,
EVH guy.
Well, no, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I always appreciate. I love. So I much rather listen to Van Halen
Mm.
than study Eddie's guitar.
Oh, okay. I see.
But you taught yourself how to play country guitar, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So
God, bro.
It's the
What was that-
hardest
what that
thing I ever
band-
It's
learned.
the-
what was that
It
band you
is.
played in at the balcony when you played?
So before
Or it was just
Drunk
multiple
Punch
bands?
Ponies, I was playing with a band called Vintage,
Vintage, yeah.
and dude, we had a great thing
That's
going
what,
for years. It was Lamar Caskey,
Bass player.
Junior, Luke,
Yeah, yeah.
my
So,
wife's uncle.
Yeah, and I'm
Storm,
related. Yeah,
which
and I'm
is her
related.
first cousin.
I've been knowing Storm and that whole family for years.
Right.
And then one day they're Delones? Or they're related to some Delones?
Or Loops.
Storm Loop?
Yeah, Storm Loop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're related to some Delones because like my mom's dad. So my grandpa that always comes watch us play. Pop,
Yeah.
Right.
That's my step grandpa.
Okay.
My real grandpa died when my mom was 3.
I didn't know that. Dude, I learn something new about you every time we
Dude,
talk,
same.
do podcasts, sing, play, everything.
It's not something small either. It's
No,
always
yeah, it's
something
like deep
huge.
shit.
Like,
yeah.
He was cleaning a gun and dropped it, and it was a 22, and just freaking
Ah.
yeah. My
Holy
grandma
shit.
found him and everything.
Oh my god.
But like
sorry, bro.
I never met him. But
I'm just sorry to hear it.
no, but I didn't find out till I was 13, and I was hanging out with the wrong crowd and everything, and I was separated from them. I couldn't do anything. I had to be locked in, not locked in my room, but like that's the only people I knew to hang out with. And my dad was always at work, so like I wasn't going over there. I was just at my mom's, and I'd asked for a guitar when I was about 11 or 11
That old?
or 12 or something like that. I'd asked for a guitar.
I thought as long as I
That's the
remember
right
you,
age, bro.
as long as I remember you, you've carried around a guitar. At Holy Savior, you went to aftercare or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember at aftercare there was that hall? Like
Mhm.
the library would be right here, and there was that hall. We used to put all our bags
And right
and
now-
instruments and
and-
stuff.
The door to the left was morning care.
Yes.
Continuing care.
As long as I remember, you had a guitar, an instrument. I don't know if it was a guitar, but you had something.
Well,
Dude, that
I was
kid-
also in band. Do I?
Were you that kid like you knew you were gonna play guitar? Like,
No, my cousin Morgan, she asked for a guitar for Christmas one year. And my grandma, like we always had so many grandkids, and I was blessed that we'd always get a $300 spin limit.
right?
That was your Christmas present from my grandma. And I had no idea what I wanted. But I saw Morgan was getting a guitar. I was like, I want a guitar. So she bought us the Fender Squire starter pack. It came with the
That's what I
black
got
and
too.
white guitar with the Fender G deck.
Yeah.
Hats off the Fender G deck amp. I still love that amp.
That's what I had too. I had a little. I got a PV Rage though. They didn't have
Oh.
a Fender amp at Hawthorne.
You went full PV.
No, my parents got me one for Christmas. Actually, it's really sentimental guitar, but it was a black Squire with a rosewood fretboard,
Mm.
and
Said Rosewood, but it was probably
it wasn't rosewood, but it was like dark. And,
Yeah.
yeah. So my parents got it for me for Christmas, and I guess Hoffman's maybe ran out of Fender amps at the time, but they always took care of me.
And they're also a really big PV dealer.
Right, I got PV Rage, man.
PV Rage.
And at the time, I had no idea what it was, but
you were
like,
playing that Pantera.
dude, it was cool, dude. It was a cool amp. Really cool amp.
But I remember Morgan had got it, and I was like, oh, I want one too. So we had got it for Christmas, and like I was saying at the time, I would listen with my mom. It was Fleetwood Mac, The Doors, Beatles, heavy Beatles, some BB King, Jefferson Airplane. Besides BB King and the Beatles, everyone that played at Woodstock was
Right.
what we listened to. Hendrix and all that stuff.
Right.
And with my dad, it was Disturbed and Godsmack and that early 2000s Linkin Park. It was that we listened to. So there was nothing in between at all.
I skipped a lot of guitar, man.
So exactly. So I remember for Christmas, a few years down the road, I had learned Jessica Allman Brothers. I had learned that on guitar, and I was showing my dad, and I played it, and of course it's And my cousin Morgan shows up, and and he looks at it and he goes, "Morgan, you've been playing guitar as well?" And she's like, "Yeah, Uncle Mo, look." And I hand her my acoustic, and she started playing "Simple Man" by Leonard Skinner, which I have never heard in my life until this moment. And she's playing it, I'm like, "That's a C chord, that's a G chord, that's an A minor." And my dad's like, "Nice." I'm like, "I just played Jessica by the Allman Brothers, motherfucker." Like,
That's funny.
so that's when I started getting the fire lit up under my ass. I was like, I ain't about to let my cousin outshine me on Christmas Day, So I started taking lessons with Brennan's mom.
Yeah.
And her husband, Wayne, started showing me how to play guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
So, and I was telling him, I was like, dude, I knew Sweet Home Alabama and Give Me Three Steps by Leonard Skinner.
I think everybody learned Skinner first.
But I'm saying I didn't
really
know any other songs by them. I never heard them at the time.
Oh, I got you.
So we had the class and we were doing Give Me Three Steps. And the solo to Give Me Three Steps was the first guitar solo I ever learned in my life. I can still play it right now exactly how he showed it to me. I would never learn any other way that he showed me.
Right, yeah, obviously.
But did that, and I learned another solo, and I learned a solo. And that's when I did this deep dive. And like I was saying, I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, so I wasn't able to do that. And this is about a year after that. My dad was home more.
So How old were you?
At this
guess
point,
it's like 11, 12?
This is probably 13, 14.
Yeah.
No, 11, 12, like I got it. I got the guitar, and I didn't touch it at all.
Okay.
That's
Never
like
touched
interest years, I feel like.
Mhm.
I feel like 13, 14, that's when you really start to say, all right, I'm going to learn.
Yeah, you find out what you, like, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this.
Right, yeah.
Oh, really? That's how it went for y'all?
Yeah.
At 13, I was climbing trees and shit. Like,
Oh, I was still climbing trees.
No, I think that's like prime guitar learning year, or like just an instrument learning year.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that, because, like I said, I always saw you playing guitar, having a guitar, and shit like that. But I never, as much as we played together and as much time as we spent together, I wanted to know too, like, how did you start? Like, what were you into? What did you?
So, it started with that, like, learning a few songs or whatever. But I'll never forget this. This is like the little point of the story. Is that, like, still when I be at my mom's house, I couldn't hang out with the crowd that I was hanging out with. So I didn't have that many friends. I started hanging out with some other people like Adam Porch, Mason Girl, Brandon Berg, and all. Started hanging out with them, Matt Robichaud. We'd all cut up in the yard.
Still terrible guys.
Yeah, absolutely. But when I went to my dad's, we had just moved down 4 Point and I had no friends.
Oh, I forgot you moved down 4 Point because you were friends with Jordan and Josh growing up, right?
Well, I still wasn't friends with them yet. But
that's true because your dad moved there or he was there?
No. He had moved there.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and my dad lived so many different places. Mm-hmm. Me and my dad and my sister, we moved everywhere.
Yeah.
Still in the same tri-parish, like everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. But I remember there was one time my dad was like, "Look, we're gonna go do this, but you got to clean your room." I was like, "All right." Enough said. Clothes under the bed, all the trash in the closet. Done. You're a genius at that age, you know?
Yeah.
Dad walks in and goes, "You vacuumed?" And I remember I passed the vacuum on the ground to get the stripes, but I didn't even turn it on.
Why?
So I did just the amount of work, the same amount of work that you would do, but just to make it look like I did it.
I see what he's saying.
But
I see what he's saying too.
I
It's
see
just
what he's getting
ridiculous.
to.
yeah. So my dad goes, all right, so if I look under this bed, there's not going to be anything in there. And I was like, no, not at all, Pop. He was like, and there's going to be no trash in that closet? It's like, not at all. I found that really hard to believe because there was a lot of clothes and a lot of trash, and none of it's out the room.
Yeah.
Like none of it's in the trash can, none of it's in the laundry room.
You lied.
I was like, Dad, you could look.
With a straight face too.
Yeah, you could
You
look.
know how much shit you think you got away with that your parents know about?
Oh, what? Oh,
Dude, my
Like,
dad.
just try to imagine how much shit you laugh about with Brittany is like, hey, look, Weston did this, and
yeah,
you know, we're just gonna leave it be funny to us. But
yeah.
But my
But
dad,
you know.
right after that, told me, he'll probably still tell me this to this day. Bub, I was your age at 1.2. And that always resonated with me my entire life because at that point of age, you know, like 12, 13, 14, you just think your parents just grow up and they're that age.
Yeah.
They're that
I
age
remember
and now
that.
they
I
have
remember
kids.
thinking like that. Yeah.
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 So like he just, my dad's a big man, just lifts up the bed, opens up the closet and everything is, and he goes, clean the room, boy. Yes, sir. So I actually cleaned the room. I did all that, vacuum for real, plugged it in.
Yeah.
Did all that, and I remember my guitar was sitting in the corner, and it was full of dust, rust, everything. And I picked it up and I held it, and I forgot how to play everything, and I felt this moment of happiness.
Man, I love that.
So like,
love
I
it.
swear to God, so like, my dad was always going, and my mom was whatever living over there. I didn't have the happiest of times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And when I picked up that guitar, that was one of the most happiest feelings I've ever felt. For some, like, I remember just holding it. It was a Strat, so I'm holding it by the horns, just looking at it, and I felt peace. Didn't know how to play it, but I felt peace and happiness. And then right after that, I was like, we're going to lessons. We're going to lessons. And then after that, to circle back to what I was saying to make it quick, though, me and Pop, that always comes to my show, that grandpa.
Yeah.
Me and him weren't close growing up. So I was my grandma's dedus.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Caitlin was his dedus.
Right.
But whenever I started playing guitar, that's whenever me and him got close. And I'd call him right now. He'll tell you that he was born again when I started playing guitar.
Man, I love that because not to make it a big, sappy moment, but so far with music, original and covers and playing and with you guys and stuff, everything has been like, dude, is this really happening? Like, what the hell? This is so
without a
cool.
doubt,
This is binge worthy to me. Like, this is the feeling that I want so freaking
You should
bad.
write a song about feeling.
Yeah, check it out. It's coming up on the new upcoming album. It's called Feeling. Anyway, but anyway, everything, and this is something I wanted to talk to y'all about, like in our little meeting and when we have for 2024 goals. I really feel like I've been searching for a whole lot of shit my whole life, right? And man, this particular thing that we're doing, like it's in itself poetic already. And like the more shit we do, the more poetic it gets. And like just simple little testimonies and shit like that. It's like, bro, this is why you do shit like this. This is why it makes sense. This is why you write. This is why you get to write. How blessed are we that we actually get to play together and write shit? Like it's just the coolest shit ever. Like I never knew that about you, And I mean, we talk every fucking day, I just think it's the coolest shit ever. It's like such a testimony, but it's freaking poetry and emotion,
That's what stuff like that, like when it comes to, not that y'all aren't very close to me, but it's like people like Matt and Jacob, like my and Brody, those are probably, and Josh, those are my closest best friends that I have. Is that whenever they hear the songs that I write, and there's the smallest little line that'll happen,
little Easter egg.
they know what that's about.
Yeah, that's Serenity. Yeah,
and
they lived it with you too. I mean,
yeah, something like that. But like it took everything out of me to put that line in there, but to make it seem like it's a take what you need line. Like you hear it and you're like, oh, I got this going on with me.
Oh yeah, you said that before too, and you said how what you and Amber call them something like
Take what you
take
need
what you
songs.
need song. It
Yeah.
might mean something totally different to somebody else, but
I
you wrote
love
it in
that
your
too.
aspect.
But
Man,
that's what you
I
need
think
to
that's
hear
a
at the
Yes.
time.
great concept, man. I
Yeah.
love that so much.
Shit, yeah, me too.
Because I mean, the song "Heaven," uh, I touched on this in the Jerry and MJ podcast, but like the song "Heaven," I got held at gunpoint and watched somebody get their fucking face blown off.
Yeah, dude, had to learn that
At
about
the
you too. Didn't
Walmart,
know,
Right? Yeah, I didn't know that
didn't know
about you
that.
till I saw it.
Yeah, but the song "Heaven," the second verse, all covered in red, sights aimed at my head. I screamed out, "Tell me what this all about?" You know, there's friends like Matt that when I showed them the song, and like Josh when I showed them the song, they were like, "Wow,
Yeah,
that's fucking wow," you know. And thank God for them for being such good friends
yeah,
and remember and listen, because that's why I'm like, oh, you fucking listen to me. Because at that point of age when that all happened, I needed somebody just to listen,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And it was such a
It's so scary too, man. Like I think the most vulnerable thing you can do is like write down what you actually feel.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you show somebody a song and it's like I'm giving you my whole heart right now.
Yeah.
And you're just hoping like a return to like solidify everything you feel on that.
Right, because you
song,
don't
know?
necessarily like when you write music. I don't think you write it to. Well, I mean, I'm sure some people do, but you don't say this is gonna be a hit. Like, man, sometimes you just gotta get shit out.
I think it's just a personal experience,
Yeah.
like writing a song, like honestly.
Yeah, I
It really
love
is.
I love that side of it because
Yeah.
there is a world where shit is a hit and it's meant to you writing for that reason. But man, when you can write stuff that is that deep and you know that sentimental and it means that much to you,
It
That's-
doesn't mean what it.
it's the whole point. Like that's what you need to get it out, so you're getting it out. It just so happens that it gets to we're lucky enough to turn it into music too.
To me, whenever I get I get a song like that that's coming up, you know, that's like the single that I'm releasing that I want to release after we do your first part
Hmm.
of the album. That's about my next chapter of life. This song, and
Oh, I love that song.
I feel comfortable whenever I'm writing it, and I'm ready to put it out because I did move on from
Yeah,
whatever happened to me in my youth and
Right.
whatever happened to me in my childhood, and what I'm not chasing that anymore because there comes to a part where you got to be your own person. You know, you got to be your own man.
yeah,
You got to be your own woman. You got to be whoever you want to be.
correct.
You know.
And the way you wrote it too, because I read it obviously,
Mhm.
and then you sent me the clip of you singing it, and then you got me to sing it. And when I was going through the motions of it, the hook is awesome, but the build up to it is like, oh yeah, like it just makes sense. You
Well,
know,
that's what I told that to Amber the other day. I was like, so I'm releasing this as a single. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna put it on the album. I just want to write music and I just want to release music. That's
Yeah.
all I want to do. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I'm not going into politics about anything. I don't care what the fuck it's gonna be.
That's such a weird side to me too. Like I've never been in that situation where you just write music.
Yeah,
You know, I've been a part of this cover world this whole time.
yeah.
Like this is all brand new to me, and like it's really refreshing to see that you can do this side of it.
yeah,
You know,
and there's
still
no
feel
rules.
that same way. You know,
There's
And
no rules
rule. That's
at all.
That's the coolest part. to
You
me.
know,
That's the best part because like I have this song that I want to do. I'll show you after we finish up this, but I have like a few things that I'm gonna go into. Every day I change it. Every day I'm like, oh, I'm tweaking this, I'm tweaking this, I'm tweaking this. This is what I want it to sound like. This is what I want to go into, and everything like that. And I stop sometimes, and I'm like, does that make sense to the listener? Because that's always the most important thing when you're writing a song. Because
Yeah.
there are no rules, but I'm releasing it because I want people to listen to it. So I have to make sure that I'm writing the song the way, and it takes the listener to a certain point. So that's tension that's building up, and then it releases.
Right.
Or out of nowhere, there's tension. You know, you always got to think about that kind of thing. But with that song, I stopped and I told him, I was like, I'm releasing this as a single. I think this is the best song I've ever written in my life. And she was like, "Oh, that song that I hate." The other
yeah,
one.
I remember when she said that.
And I was like, no, not that song, a different song. I was like, I think it's the best song I've ever written.
yeah,
And the best part about that statement is that I show it to you behind closed doors, and I go, I think this is the best song I've ever written. You go, I agree. behind closed doors, I show it to you, and you go, "No, I think this song is the best song you've ever written." It doesn't matter.
Right. No,
None
it
of it
doesn't.
matters.
Yeah.
None of it matters.
Doesn't matter at all.
It's about art. It's just art.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at somebody's paintings. It's the same thing. I
Right.
think this is the best painting
It feels so personal
because
when
you take what
That's
you
right.
took from it. Yeah.
That's right. You take
Now,
what you want from it.
on
Like you
that
said.
side, Dylan and I talk about this a lot. So this album that we're doing together that I'm gonna release is I say it's the first time. I haven't been doing it that long, but I'm so freaking pumped that we get to play these songs to humans before
Yeah.
it's out to the world, right? Or before the master copy is out there.
Mhm.
And when we always talk about whether it's acoustic or whether it's full band or whatever, South Dakota Wind I like the song. It's not my favorite, but I do really thoroughly enjoy the
It's
song.
Jacob Grove's favorite.
Yes, it is. I really do like that song, but it's just simply not my favorite. But I've been noticing that when we play it, there's always feet in the crowd doing this, and people always kind of look when that song comes on. I don't know if they give a shit about it, or if they're liking it, or if they're not liking it, but that's the kind of full door that I kind of want,
Mm-hmm.
full circle. I mean that I really want because I don't want this album to be commercial by any means, but the whole point of building this album to me is to play it for people, right?
Mhm.
And that's where our band is right now, is in that niche right there, right?
Yeah, I
And
agree.
then so that's a big thing for me, is trying to and that's why I picked these songs. Well, you and I kind of picked them, but that's why we picked these songs to be more of a, like, right on the edge of slam it in their face, and just write from the heart. Make it absolutely worth writing.
That makes complete sense.
And playing live is a different story, because I get so nervous to play the songs live because I don't want to screw them up. But the more we're playing them, the more it's like, dude, that sounded good. That sounded great, man. That sounded great. Which, to kind of make my first point, I feel like it helped, and it's still helping build the album.
Turn and build
the
it builds
freaking album, right?
because that's the exact same thing. Me and Dylan also text outside of the group message
Yeah, dirty.
of guitar parts because
Dirty.
You got to. You could talk.
we're not gonna fucking just bore you with that shit
Yeah.
because you're gonna come in halfway through it and go, "What's an AC30?"
Yeah, it's
we're-
like talking Greek.
Right. Yeah.
When y'all go on y'all tangents, this and
talking
that, I'm like,
Chinese to you, man.
God,
Yeah,
get fucked.
but it's
So you.
but it's awesome that I'm comfortable with another guitar player like that because like the first few rehearsals that we had, and Dylan had life going on,
Yeah,
and he couldn't make the rehearsals. I had to play the leads normally where Dylan would play the leads at
right.
because we had rehearsal. And there's no bashing. That's not what I mean at all.
No.
But what I mean by that is whenever we got there, like Cody was asking me a few times. He's like, "It's like, are you gonna play the lead?" I'm like, "No. Me and Dylan are gonna communicate." And he's like, "Okay, we sure?" "Yeah, we're good."
I think that's like so weird to non-guitar players. That like you could just give another guitar player a look and they know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, which still cracks me up with y'all too, how y'all navigate that shit. But I can understand where you're saying that
It's
because
Because
so natural.
I'll give you a look
Yeah.
to take a lead, or you'll give me a look to take a lead, but that's a completely different look that I got to give Cody,
Mhm.
being like,
That's right.
"Hey, we're going into this."
Yeah.
That look got to go something like,
That's right. That's
"Wrap it
pretty
up."
good. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Man, recording your shit over here.
damn,
All right,
pull up. You gonna pull it off?
stop. Recording your shit over here. We're doing Broadway nights.
Right.
Okay. And we get to the end of it.
Oh, you and Cody. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The drums over here. We get to the end of
Take your
it.
headphones off.
It's good.
He's gonna hit that.
That was really good.
But grab some beers when you. Yeah. I'm right. But we get to the end of it, and I'm reading the notes that you had, and I was like, "Oh yeah." The end, we're going, "'Cause it's the boots and the beer that appear."
Right.
So I'm telling him that. I'm like, "This, we play it live like that, kind of,
Kind of.
but
Yeah.
we kind of sway away from it. It all
Correct.
kind of changes every single time we play the gig." So he's like, "Okay." So he's like, "So I'm in the room. I tried hooking up a talkback mic. It's called just a microphone where I can he could hear me in his headphones. I forgot so much shit. We're recording the song, and it comes to that part, and he was like, "Just come in and mouth it to me." So I got the 2 room mics.
Yeah, something set up when we got in here. Yeah.
Sit in the corner. I had those set up. I'm standing right there, right?
Right underneath it.
And I'm right underneath it, and I'm just mouthing to him. I'm like, and he fumbled it, dropped the bag completely, fucked it all up. I was like, all right, yeah, that's fine. That's why we're recording. Pause, rewind,
right.
Go back to the spot.
Yeah.
Easy. Do it again, and I'm just going, fucked it all up. I'm like, all right, that's fine. It's okay. That's why we're recording. Pause, back it up, delete, record again. And before that, he goes, dude, just sing it to me. I'm like, yeah, easy.
Oh, you got your mic. Are you talking about in there? Like he wanted you to sing it from your side?
No, he just told, no, the talkback didn't work.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I probably didn't throw that in yet. The talkback didn't work. The only reason it didn't, because I didn't bring enough fucking cables.
Yeah.
So.
Story of our life.
Yeah. So I got the other room mic sitting right there, and I'm in the corner, and he's like, just sing it to me. So he's playing drums, one headphone off. And I'm just going, it's the boots and the beer that appear. It's the boots and the beer that appear. And we go through it. And then he's like, and he's playing. And he goes, next one? I'm like, yeah, next one. I'm like, on a pier, stop. It's the boots and the beer that appear. He's behind the kid going, it's the boots and the beer that appear. I'm like, it's the boots and the beer that clear. He's like, all right, got it. And we nailed it.
Yeah, let's say,
Nailed it.
Did it work?
We stopped. We go back. And we both sat there. And I had ordered pizza. So we're both just taking a pizza break. And we go back and play. Because I knew he had played the part perfectly. So we go back, and before I press play, I go, Cody, we're both singing.
Hit the microphone.
Dude, there's a microphone right here on top of my head. I'm like, fuck. Way.
And Cody only has 30 mics on him.
Yeah, and he's behind the kid, and he was like, I was singing it too. And I was like, do you know what I'm saying now, though? He's like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Went back and recorded, and I was like, why the fuck didn't we just
say
that?
Oh, my God. So it's 2, right? Boots in the beer that appear, boots in the beer that appear, boots in the beer that appear on Broadway nights, and then one more.
Yeah, and a little break. And
I thought so.
But it was fucking so hilarious.
Oh my God!
Right before that, I was like, "I'm fucking you told me to sing, mother Cody. This is your fault."
Yeah, you could hear it. I mean, obviously, you could hear both of y'all singing it, huh?
Oh, I deleted it.
Well, I know that, but like when you,
I didn't even play it back.
Oh, okay.
I'm very upset that I didn't.
Oh gosh.
But this is, I feel like that arrives at a point of how much fun it's been recording this album for you, with you, not for you.
Well, even so, too, we still have 5 more that we didn't even touch yet. Mm-hmm. Well, which are click tracked, which are acoustically done and stuff like that. But that being said, I mean, just look at how much we learned just in the last week of recording.
Cody just dropped money on a new kit.
Yeah, he did. So. Yeah, he did. Which I'm assuming we're gonna track with that kit, not this one.
Yeah, this is gonna be his practice kit.
Great too, though.
Dude, I mean the
PDP said, dude.
Yeah, shout out to Bubba's system, because these drums, which are Cody's original drums, and he just bought a new set, which means in 2024 we're playing our asses off. But yeah, clean sweep through with Bubba's system, and just made it really worthwhile in a room that's not made for recording, and it's gonna be on the tracks and the record. So that's a pretty cool thing.
But the whole entire best part of it. So whenever it came down to the Jambon Company stuff. So that was fun, because I was like, I want to record an album in a place that you shouldn't record an album in.
Yeah.
My bedroom.
Yeah.
So I did all the parts there, and I pretty much just commissioned people to play the parts that I had already written.
Right.
So I did all the guitar tracks there. I played guitar for 2 songs. Noogie played on Faith, and Sean Roddy played on Heaven and War.
I love Sean.
Dude, he's a fucking badass.
Sean's a freaking beast.
He's just a great human. I love him. Yeah.
He's also the best guy ever.
And his stage
that's what I'm
performance
saying,
too
yeah.
is just like I could watch him all day. Yeah.
But
Yeah, stop kicking my wire.
I will kick your bar, boy. But my thing was like, I want to record an album in a place that you shouldn't record an album.
Right.
So I did that. Sean recorded at his house, his bass parts in his bedroom whenever he put his kids to sleep in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Texted me, it's like 1:30. I'm waking up to listen to his tracks, and I'm just going like in bed, headphone, iPhone adapter, like, and I'm just listening to just the bass track. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, sounds good, man. Sounds good. Killer job, bro.
Yeah.
But
And poor Sean hustling his ass off 1 o'clock in the morning.
Good job,
He's
man.
so good, man.
But for drums, I went to my boy Kyle Erosh. His fucking drums, dude, they're fucking undefeated. Went there with Tim, and it's in his bedroom. You walk in, his drum set is set up in his bedroom. It's kind of like this, and he's got a door right there that goes into his bathroom, and it's all tile and marble, everything. So he's got 2 microphones on the ground, and it's a reverb tank. That's what he uses it for.
Holy shit.
So that snare hits in the room, you just hear, "Tah." And there you hear no attack, and it's just,
wow.
Oh, how beautiful.
and
Dang.
no, Kyle's the fucking. So Kyle worked for Personas for a while, but he's the fucking man. He knows exactly what he's doing, whatever. But it's more like modern drums that he does.
Right.
So like I would have been with Cody, like, let's go over there for this, but it wasn't. It doesn't fit the bill. So after that's done, I'm like, oh, it's recording in a fucking bedroom. This whole thing's done in a fucking bedroom.
Yeah.
Sent it to Robbie, recorded in his fucking bedroom that's upstairs on a fucking $20,000 API board, you know. But that was
then Keith and all have recently told me. Well, Robbie too. But when I went track the EP, it was totally different. So it's still the same room, but I mean it's upgraded big time. You know?
Oh yeah, he's got his acoustic barriers and fucking everything there.
Well, we would call Robbie's upstairs bedroom.
Yeah, that's cute.
Legit studio.
What a doghouse, right?
Yeah.
But my favorite thing about recording this album with y'all is that just like before we did the guitars at my house, you know, and the deal was somebody bring beer, I'll cook food.
Right. Yeah.
I'll bring the beer, somebody cook food. And we just sat down, had a Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Drink a couple beers, and we just kept it fun no matter what.
Right.
No, it was just a hangout the whole time.
Yeah. Because there's songs that like was Home to Me.
Yeah.
We didn't even finish.
On tracking
wise, like guitar wise, we got halfway through and we were like,
Sing Along and Home to Me was halfway through. We never finished it.
yeah.
And I think we ended up going back or whatever. That part was extremely important to me, but it was not the whole part, but towards the end, I was so ready to finish because that's a big step to get to the next step, right?
Yeah.
And I was so just, oh my God, I'm so ready for it to be at where it's at right now, right?
Yeah.
Especially since both of y'all want to go back and do some guitar part, delete some shit and go back over and fix some stuff and, you know, perfect it and stuff like that. But that just means the world to me because that means y'all are hearing what y'all want to and know what y'all want to hear, right? Sure. And that part was not frustrating, but I was so ready to get it done. But man, Dylan always says, man, like as I'm having fun doing this, but like I just want to hang out with y'all. Like we would always go to work, right?
Right. Yeah. It was
Wednesday, Thursday nights we would go to freaking work.
Yeah.
And
which is the best thing ever. I mean,
it is.
We got that ethic.
Well, and you can jive it and you can make it work.
But let's barbecue sometime.
Yeah, like let's hang out. Like obviously we get along.
Well, that night that we half-ass wrote that song, I don't know what it's even called, but it was you on the acoustic. You had the little kind of opening riff. Not even a riff. I don't think it is. And then
you had my baritone. We'll reload.
No, not that. No. This is at y'all kitchen table.
Oh, that other song.
That slow song.
Yeah. Right.
And Dylan was spitting out lyrics that he was making up. I had half the shit written down already. You had lyrics that
I'm just pulling from different songs.
Yeah, and you constantly playing it. That was more of a hangout. I mean, it wasn't a true hangout. We had a guitar in the hands, but that meant a whole lot to me as compared to just tracking all night long, right?
Yeah.
And tracking is so fun. I absolutely love it. Studio work is freaking awesome, but the relationship side was a whole lot better. Like just the chill factor of it, just bullshitting and hanging out.
Well, to me, that's one of the most important aspects of your album that you're doing right now. And this is going to be the few times that I'll say your album.
Yeah,
because I know me and you had the
we had that
saying that too, man.
Me and you had that.
We had the conversation the other night. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I made the point the other night that, Eric Church is one of my freaking absolute heroes, and I learned so much from him before I even knew how to play guitar.
For sure.
But every interview you see from him, they always ask, "What is this? What is that? What do you think this is? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that?" No matter what, the dude always says "we." He always is. Eric Church is always "we." That's it, all the time. Whether it's him and a guitar, it's always "we," and I absolutely love that. And I'm big on the whole teamwork thing and how we all working together. Well, that being said, us working as a team, I told Bubba, I said, it's a catch-22 because from now on, I want, and I say it aloud all the time on stage, but I want it to be we no matter what. Yes, it's my name. Yes, I'm the front man. I'm the one that's making noise all the time, but I want it to, and it's my face a lot, but I want the we factor, which I told Bubba, I said, it's going to suck sometimes because if we do shitty, it's still we. But when we do freaking good, it's we.
Well, that's what I told you right after that. I told you, I was like, hey, man, I was on that stage when you were singing a half step down.
Exactly. And that was the we thing.
I was like, I was on that stage as well with you, man, and we were fucking up. That's why I looked at you and said, hey, man, we a half step down.
I think guitar players, though, for sure, like, you look back, there's so many famous guitar players.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really give it, like, I think of Slash. I don't think of Guns N' Roses. I think of him just wailing out.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly. And
so, like, for us, it's like, it's hard to, I guess you put so much time and effort to, like, learn guitar and you study these guys so hard that when it comes to, like, building an album, it's just a natural we thing.
See, I agree with that. I agree. And
it's like, and it can also be, it's a lot of parts of I coming together. That's a bigger picture with me because with me, if it was just me, if you were just commissioning me to write guitar.
Which I was at first and you thought, remember that?
Yeah.
Because that's before we played together. Remember I gave you some money to track one song. And then I gave you some money to track another song.
Yeah.
And you were like, what is this, a demo? And I was like, no. He was like, oh, well, you want me to play guitar with you? And that's kind of how like the relationship started.
Yeah.
That was a big we factor to me because I started off as an I want Bubba to click track this shit because I suck at keeping up with a click track.
Right.
Then it turned into days later, we booking shows and we starting to make music together and we starting to play together. You know, that was a big I to we thing that I didn't know I needed and it turned into.
With more meaning into that is what I mean is that like if you would have just got me to play guitar on your album, this entire thing, it would have sounded like Dale, Cody, and you singing on a Jean Bon Company album.
Yeah.
Because I would have played guitar like I play guitar.
And produced it the way you produce it.
And we've had that conversation, us three already.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I mean Cody, Dylan plays, he's got 90% of the tracks on the album.
Right.
Because I'm worried about it sounding like Jean Bon Company.
Right.
That Southern rock. I want that heavy rock and roll in your face, Yeah. But I feel like after we tracked it, well, at least the 5 songs, let's just focus on that. The 5 songs, we tracked them. We played them live so many times that whenever we play them live, I know exactly what my job is. Dylan knows exactly what his job is. So that whenever, and the drums are done.
Yeah.
So that whenever we retrack them on guitars, it's going to feel...
It's going to feel right.
It's going to feel like home to me. Is what I'm trying to say, boy.
I got that feeling. Okay.
Sounds like the wind, bro.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's all part of like the meshing thing that I like to call like the teamwork thing. I know, I also notice, especially working with y'all two a lot, live studio stuff. And just being, y'all two being my loser ass friends. Y'all two personalities are totally different, y'all two, right? y'all are totally different
Yeah,
people.
yeah, and you hear that through music as
Exactly.
well.
And then y'all are two totally separate different people, right? But when y'all play together, y'all are still totally separate, but y'all feed so much off of one another that, again, I'm hearing all the time, and I'm like, damn, what the hell? So it's like y'all personalities are reflecting musically and just being people, and that I find that really helps because I need Dylan in certain times personally, and I need you in certain times personally.
No,
That
yeah,
it makes
I
a
see that,
huge
yeah.
difference on my nerves, right?
Mhm.
Because I get nervous and I get worried and I let shit bother me. And when it comes to, now that's not saying y'all don't give a shit, but y'all attitudes, I start reflecting y'all attitudes because y'all have totally different personalities, and then it starts to fucking do your thing, bro. And
That's it. Yeah, just be you.
yeah, and
Like, that's the
Yeah.
easiest thing to ever be.
what I'm getting at is like y'all are we tight, but y'all are my like almost like mentoring kind of in a way, right? It's
Yeah.
like I go to you for certain stuff, I go to you for certain stuff,
Right.
Mhm.
but we still work so freaking well together, and we build a freaking
Because
product.
that's the way I look at certain things. Is well, it's just that is when I went bungee jumping. That one little spot changed my life.
Yeah.
Like that one thing told me if you start something, you finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever it comes down to, like, we played the Mudbug the other day. Half of those leads that I was playing, I could care two less about.
Yeah.
Because there was no vibe on it. You know what
Well,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
Dylan kept on saying, "This guy's having fun over here."
Yeah, and then there would be songs that we start playing that I'm like, oh, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, it's freaking
I
over
put
here.
on like a fuzz pedal. There's no
Right,
we're
yeah.
playing a acoustic show. There's no reason all I got should have three delay pedals and a fuzz pedal on.
What's that sound? It's probably one of those 40 cables
Yeah.
going to your pedal
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, and then Velvet Sky was setting up right after us, and they were all huddled around like a campfire, looking at Bubba's board like, "Look at this
Acoustic show.
Look at this freaking guy right here."
Acoustic show. Dude brought 40 pedals to an acoustic show. You got a 4x8
Yeah.
fucking pedal board.
Jumping over it, it's so big.
And I'm so simple. I don't like none of that stuff.
It costs-
I like to
well,
just
that's-
plug in and I hope it works.
That's one of the funnest part about playing with JP with you is that, like, there's certain songs that I know my job and you know your job.
That's right. Yeah.
And my job is to fill the gap of everything that's not there.
Right.
So, like, my job is to make it sound like there's a B3 organ going on.
Right,
Make
yeah.
it sound like there's a church organ, church choir that's going on.
That's right.
And you're just hitting the licks and all. Now, but whenever we get to, like, the fireman, and I don't know what's going on.
Right,
Yeah.
Fireman, Chattahoochee, you know.
Yeah,
So
and I'm just
dry,
sitting there.
Such dry song,
Yeah.
by the way.
Well, but
Not wet at all.
but we were
Not even a little bit.
so we were talking
Donna
about you.
hates
We were talking about the other day, Bubba and I. We were setting up, and we were saying how, like it's no lie that you don't like to be right in the front, right? I mean,
No,
that's
yeah,
just
I've never been that guy.
that's just said and done, right?
Yeah.
But another thing I was telling them is, in my mind, if we get to play some cool shows in the future, some bigger stuff, and we get to introduce a lot more of the original stuff, I would absolutely love to sit back for a couple songs or something, not songs, but a couple measures, a couple breaks and stuff like that, and let y'all two just do y'all thing. Kind of like the same thing as when I went get a beer and y'all was still hanging out doing y'all thing.
Right.
I want that bad. Just like I told you on Home to Me, I can't, when you take over from Julia's part, when her fiddle's in and you take over,
dude.
bro, it fits so
fits
well.
so
And in my mind, like I hear it and I think the song is beautiful and I think the parts are beautiful. But when I close my eyes, I see it playing to 10,000 people, and I'm watching y'all play. And I'm still on stage too, but my part's finished for right now, and I'm watching y'all play. That's the coolest thing for me.
Right.
So we were talking the other day how you don't necessarily like to be in the front, but in the future, there's gonna have to be times where y'all two are gonna have to do y'all thing because
I've been told that my whole life. Like, that's my big. If it's not like being able to sing, it's about not being in the front.
And it's
not,
so
like,
funny
showing
because,
off.
like, to me,
So,
like, as a person, and like, you have your morals, and you seem like the way you stand on how you live your life, you would almost seem to me to be the complete opposite.
yeah, yeah,
Like
revved up, dude.
because
Let's
you,
go.
well, you fucking revved up. Let's go run a fucking Grand Isle Beach.
Yeah, fuck it.
Never
Like,
done this shit in
let's
my
go,
life.
dude.
Hey, Dylan, what you been doing majority of your life? Playing guitar. Hey, man, Come in front with me. I'm good. The fuck is that?
No, I just never been like the showman. Like I don't think. I guess that kind of comes from learning from the radio. You know, you hear it. You don't like visualize. I guess like
Yeah.
music videos, like it looks cool and all, but it's
I-
all fake. Like the recording's the only real thing.
And-
Right.
It's the
No,
sound.
yeah, I had never.
So-
I was never the front guy. I was never the one to get excited and do it.
Right.
I would have to force myself to do it, and that was a whole bigger thing. So I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this is just not genuine,
Right.
you know. And then there was one night, like, I had popped the Adderall and fucking drank a bunch of wine before.
That'll do
And
it.
oh, that'll do it for sure. And like, we opened up at 12 Stones though,
Cool.
Yeah, that'll,
and I was
Okay.
like, oh, I know they about to come out and fucking show us the fuck up.
Yeah.
So I was like, we gotta rock and roll.
I think context has a lot to do with it too. If you got like 1,000 people screaming at you,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get a lot more pumped up
Yeah.
than 50 people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we had did that, and like right after that, I had realized there was a few songs that we had played in our set. This is what we're calling them. That we had played a few songs in a set where like I didn't care, and then I watched the crowd just, and I was like, oh shit! And we
You
played
gotta-
another song that I cared about,
Yeah, you got
and I
to.
pump in, and I'm watching them
Yeah.
get
Right.
into it, and there's no better feeling that I've ever experienced in my life of
Then the feeling, loving on you. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the song.
of that energy coming to you and you feeding it back to the
Yeah,
crowd,
dude,
and them
I
feeding it
know.
back to you.
Oh my God.
So like whenever we had played at with Jack Bay,
Shock Top. Yeah.
we played at the Choctaw Fair.
Choctaw, babe.
That was the first time in my life I ever played guitar
Shout out
behind
to
my head.
Dots.
That I ever played guitar behind my head.
Huh?
I love that.
Yes, I know.
My
But
great grandpa started that boy.
I think I knew that. Yeah, I think Travis Zarang told me that actually.
oh, you're done.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, dog.
I'm not even sorry. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. No, but that was like the first time I was watching the crowd and they was starting to actually get into it. I
Yeah.
was like, I got to one up them.
Yeah.
So that's why I started playing behind my head with overalls on.
Yeah.
That's probably a first.
I liked it. I thought it was cool as shit.
No, but after that, I looked at Dylan and I went, "Me and you, right here,"
Yeah.
and he just
Dude,
Got
I
it.
couldn't hear anything, by the way. So I had a 112 15-watt Blues Junior.
I had a 1.8 10-watt blue.
If y'all don't know
This
what
is
that
true.
is, I
You-
don't know what it is either.
You would crank to 11, though. And I knew I had my pocket where I can hear my amp. I don't remember having a monitor. I'm pretty sure I just had my amp.
Nah, you just had your monitor. Your amp. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure, yeah.
If I
So
could
I
think
knew
back.
where I was standing. I could hear that amp, like just good enough to get the show through.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to turn it up and mess up the mix. We had all that problem with the live mix,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like,
Please don't remind me. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if I
Orange
fuck with this amp, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to mess up the front of sound, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna stand right here. I'm gonna play, and that's just gonna be it. We're gonna get through this show,
Right.
you know. So that was kind of my deal. I was like, I can't move. I'm in
Yeah.
like a 2-foot section.
And I know that's life. That's life getting through the show, but man, that's nightmarish words. Like it must go on, but God, it was that show in particular was so rank on me because I just struggled. It was a terrible night for me. I just struggled in all aspects, and I remember you saying it was like, well, that's room for improvement. Cody was like, dude, just move on. Like, it
Yeah,
is
you
what
gotta
it is.
get
You
through
gotta
it, no
get
matter
over that.
what.
yeah, because you got to
But it just sucks to think that way. Like it's always more of a high and more of a love whenever you not getting through the show. You're, oh my God, we ain't got no time left and we still got some songs to play. That's the best feeling. The worst feeling is, oh my God, we got to get through this because this shit's not working. And it was sound. A piss load of sound wasn't working that night.
Yeah.
And
Well, I feel like
Just-
that's another big thing is whenever we played. What was it for? We played on the Nova Pass,
the Lockport Fair.
April 22nd. Yeah, Lockport Fair in Raisling. But whenever we had played there,
Justin Baudouin's birthday.
yeah,
My stepson's birthday.
is it on your notes?
Yeah, yeah. Amber, Dylan, you, even my wife. I wouldn't forget her birthday. But all my friends, they have my notes on my birthday. I mean, birthday in my notes.
But whenever we had started playing, we went through about 15 songs, and you had stopped and you looked at me and went, "We're gonna run out."
I know. Oh, what a stat.
But those 15 songs, the first 15 songs is always gonna be
Yeah.
punch in your face.
Yeah.
After that, we can relax.
Right.
We can just jam. We can talk to the crowd because the crowd was just starting to really drink at that time. You know,
At that 15-second song time, I'm like, holy shit.
you
they
thought,
just-
yeah, we were over, and we had songs to spare.
Right. Yeah.
That was the best part of it.
Yeah.
But you had looked at me, and I was like, the only thing we can do is keep
You
going.
got to keep going. Yeah.
Got to keep going, and
That's
we'll
it.
take care of the rest.
Yeah.
And whenever we had got to our second to last block, I realized we had cut 2 or 3 songs at that point.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I remember
Because
that.
we were running out of time,
Right.
and I was like, "You see what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
You know,
Which is
the weirdest thing ever.
I hate to say it, but you don't understand that until you play live.
Dude, you got to play and play and play. And
Literally.
play
Yeah.
to learn how to troubleshoot.
Correct.
If you don't see a problem, you don't know how to fix it.
Yeah. Just like in rehearsal,
You know,
you can
that's right.
play 20 songs, but you're not playing them like you play in a live setting.
It's a different.
Right.
It's a whole
Well, it's the same
different
thing of
ballgame.
learning anything, man. I could send you a picture and a video of how to tie a knot, how to tie a bowling knot,
Right.
or I can show you in 30 seconds,
Right.
and you're never gonna forget it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, or you will forget it. I just gotta show you again. You got to do it hands on.
Yeah.
You
And
got to
it's-
actually go through.
It's
those
so crazy
problems.
playing music with you, because it's honestly awesome because you're incredible with the crowd. Whenever I did the jambon stuff, when we played at Beck's, I realized when we got to the second song, I didn't have a microphone on me at all, for like vocalize, because I wasn't singing. The band's called Jambon Company, bitch.
Yeah. I don't remember you not having a mic, but for some reason I thought I remember you speaking. I thought I remember
Well,
you saying stuff.
Well, before I
That was
walked
the rainy day?
I
That real
walked-
rainy day?
Yeah, I walked in front of the crowd and I started clapping, and everybody started clapping.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
all got into it or whatever. But no, my microphone was off.
Okay.
I remember I told Boone, I was like, mute my mic, so I'm gonna just.
Oh, gotcha.
That's how I always been too. I had a little kid call me out one time. I never had a mic since. I had like a 10-year-old like, "Hey, you're not even singing." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm not."
The show must not go on.
Yeah.
That's why he's like that.
Oh,
Okay.
that is, yeah.
But MJ is the fucking one of the best front men ever.
Oh, dude.
So,
Yeah, he's
dude,
really good.
I
he
can
would-
attest to that.
He would finish a song and it'd be like, "That's Christian Jambon that wrote that,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Put
He's
your hands
so
up
good
for
at that,
Jambon,
bro.
man."
He is.
And like whenever we had finished, our first gig was at for Beck's Fest, and whenever we had finished it, I walked up to him and I was like, "Dude, thank you so much."
Yeah.
because I was so nervous.
Right.
Because it was
Yeah,
the
you
first
almost,
Jambon.
you almost threw up in the bathroom before.
Dude, I was dying, dude. I was
Yeah.
like B-Rabbit.
Yeah.
You still get nervous? Like y'all still get nervous?
Please. I get nervous every show.
I'll tell you right now, I still get nervous, like
Yeah.
to death.
Yeah.
You know who told me that? Josh LaRose.
Really?
He said, "If you get nervous, it means you care."
Yeah.
Me
My
and Josh go back so far, bro.
But so to make it full circle with that is that whenever that had happened, I had so many different things on my plate. One, this was me finally writing the songs and finally playing them live in front of people,
Yeah.
you know? But I had shared random MP3s with so many people. The album wasn't even out yet, or the EP wasn't even out yet.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got through Faith, and MJ looked at me and he goes,
Yeah. How the fuck?
"These people are singing the fucking words."
Yeah. I remember I was there and I remember that's the rainy day one, right? That's the
Yeah.
I was in Salt
I,
Lake.
I was
I
at
watched it
the
on your Snapchat.
Oh, the snaps and I was
Yeah.
at the bar, like on the corner of the bar, and I was watching the people, which was a packed show anyway. I was watching the people sing back, and I'm like, damn, like what a feeling. That is great. But I was impressed at how they knew the song. You know, I mean, I had heard it because I had played around with it in the
Uh-huh.
studio, and I listened to it 1,000 freaking times.
Whenever we had played Church of Sinners and there was a group of people, the song, it wasn't even out yet.
Yeah,
And there was a group of people just huddled together and they was singing the last chorus together. It was like fucking freaky to me.
yeah,
And then MJ stopped me again. He's like, how many fucking people you sent that
Yeah.
shit out to? I'm like, fucking everybody, dude.
That has to be like
Yeah.
an out of body experience because it's you in your brain. You know you wrote it. You know the songs. You know the words. And the next thing you know, you see other people singing it. That has to be like, whoa, how cool
Well,
is that?
to me at the time, what I meant by the entire story was I was so nervous about it
Yeah,
because right before we started, like I said, MJ is out of everybody I've ever played with my entire life. MJ is the best front man that I've ever
Yeah.
played with, you know.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking good.
And he's one of the best singers I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Yeah.
And he's from fucking Venice. You know?
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah, he's from fucking Venice.
Yeah.
But after the show, we're talking, we're bullshitting and everything, and he was like, "Dude, why are you so nervous?" It's like, "You never played before?" I was like, "Dude, I fucking played hundreds of times, but this was the first jambon thing that I did, and I didn't know how it was gonna go. Thank God for you. I fucking gave him all the hugs and all the beers and all the whiskeys in the world. I was like, the way you handled the crowd for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
and that's the biggest thing."
Yeah.
Is that it was my name that was on the show, and you handled the crowd for me.
Right.
Because I was swapping guitars, tuning them all up.
Yeah.
Fucking, I even had a capo on the song, JP. You
Oh, I saw it. I remember it.
It was on War.
I remember seeing it.
But
That's the one, dude. That's the
Yeah.
that's the one.
that's the single.
But I was so worried and so nervous about it. And whenever, just the show that we did, me, you, Cully, and all the people that played. That was
There.
the first time that you had ever played with a full band.
With the band, yeah.
Yeah. You had that same vibe to you.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give you the same comfort that I had gotten from previous. Being
I
like,
was shitting in my boots that night.
yeah, but I just wanted to be like, hey, man, we got it.
Yeah.
All you have to do is your job,
Right.
and we have the rest. And that's exactly what MJ told me. He was like, you wrote the fucking songs, you know them, right? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I forgot everything, dude. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But he's like, all you have to do is your job. And that's the best part of playing with you, man, is that now you know your job.
Yeah.
So that we finish a song, man. You fucking punch your crowd with, thank y'all for coming out.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for doing this. And we're able to,
Right.
Yeah,
right.
no, you buy us time. All
Yeah. Well, we had
very well.
Well, we had that conversation last week, not in the same sense, so to speak, but like playing guitar with you guys, especially more of an acoustic setting, I'm getting more comfortable, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's obvious.
I don't necessarily play the guitar well, but I feel so much more comfortable playing. Like before we started this, when we was playing the song that we never played before.
I'm still
Right.
confused by that B minor you play.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what B
There's an
minor
extra
you learned.
minor.
Yeah, I learned that. I don't know where I learned that, but anyway, let's
What
not
does it mean?
let's not talk about the B minor right now.
It was in a sign language.
It's like on that episode of Friends. Yeah, this is B minor right here. Look, this is it right
This
here.
is right there.
That's a Crip song.
I showed dude one time. I had played it when I had showed that chord one time to Jerry live. Something for I think MJ was playing or you were playing or something like that. Something.
Out of all people, too.
Well, and look, bro, poor Jerry. It was dark. It was at a canal board. You know, the lights were like blue and green and stuff. And he's like, what's the chord progression? I was like, it goes to this and it has a B minor. And I said, but this is how I play it. And bro, poor Jerry, he went.
Dude, that's the guy. Like,
Oh God.
Out of all fucking people, you showed Jerry that
Yeah.
fucking.
I said, this is how I play. He,
that was always the beautiful thing with playing with Zach, too. It's like, Zach is such the guy, right?
Mhm.
That you play with him and you kind of watch his face whenever you're playing and he's paying attention. And you can kind of tell, like, not going to do that again. Or,
Mhm.
hey, you like that. All right, let's
Yeah.
keep it going, because they actually do know what they're talking.
dude, I can watch Jerry and Zach separately, together, whatever.
Right.
I can watch them play for hours.
Same, dude.
For hours.
Same.
Man, that was one of the funniest.
Not to mention two of the nicest human beings you ever meet in your freaking life.
That was one of
Yeah,
the
for sure.
funnest times ever. Was recording guitars at
Oh, I'm sure.
Jerry's house for the Calling Home album. Man, we'd walk in and we didn't know what we wanted the song to sound like. Kind of like exactly what we're doing in the house.
Right.
And I text Jerry all the time. I'll record a song and it's fucking 42 guitar tracks, and I'm like, you asshole, I got this from you.
Pick 'em.
Because we go over there, and I'm like, yeah, man, it's just two big left and right guitars that's playing. They got a middle lead that's happening in the middle, and we'll put that mono,
Right.
and we move forward. And he's like, yeah, but what if we got a little ding a ding a ding a ding a ding a ding
That's where you get it from.
happening right here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you mean like right speaker? And he's like, yeah. He's like, okay. And we listen, and he's like, now the left speak is a little empty. So I'm like, oh, we need to do this on this
Yeah,
side.
here comes Bubba.
And
Yeah.
he's like, now the mono is kind of empty as well,
Yeah.
so you just got to fucking play this.
Well, I blame Jerry for all Bubba's shit, for Bubba's ways.
But it was-
because I'm so simple when it comes to guitar, man. I feel like I am anyway. I might be complicated. I feel like I'm pretty simple.
No,
you're very
yeah.
simple.
And that was another personality thing I meant that I kind of passed over was y'all are totally different when it comes to that, and it's fucking working. Like it's
Yeah,
working
no,
big
it
time,
works.
you know?
It works for sure. I told you many times, like I kind of think of guitar as just like a seasoning, right? Like
Yeah.
you bring me the song, that's the meal. I'm just trying to make it taste better a little bit.
Gee,
Yeah.
what an analogy from this freaking
That's
guy.
fucking
It's
awesome.
like-
You never even said that in a group message before.
Really? I've been saying that for a
Dude.
long time.
You never said it though, because I'd have saved it
Really?
in my notes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would have said, write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, adding a little Tonys to some badass, red sauce.
So
dish.
what
The red
Red
sauce.
sauce.
Oh, that's for another podcast.
No, but it's awesome that you add Tony's, and I feel like I add parsley, oregano, and rosemary. Those
Yeah, I
herbs
get
that you
that.
just
I get
taste,
it. Yeah.
because I'm on my pedal board, it's all just fucking nonsense.
You're right. Yeah.
But if I turn the nonsense off, it sounds stale.
Yeah. You don't know it's there until it's missing.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that 100%. But the coolest thing for me about this album, guitar-wise, though, like obviously I recorded like Carrie stuff, but like I never really felt like recording it. I was doing it for myself. It felt like I was trying to give Carrie the best song we had in his moment.
Which I don't see a
Right.
problem with from your
I think that's
Side.
your job.
yeah.
Like that's really your job.
You
Like,
felt
that's
like you were
what get paid
commissioned
for.
at that point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, all right, so here's a song. You're the guitar player. Come in and record it.
Yeah.
With the stuff we've been recording, I got to a point where I was just like, I'm just gonna play me,
Yeah.
and just if it works, it works. If not, we'll go back.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it all worked.
Yeah.
It really worked.
Well, good news for us is that's kind of the whole point. I mean, it literally says it in the name, Home to Me. I named it that because we're in Bubba's freaking house. The songs are written on my damn couch. I mean, it's literally
Right.
the most homey freaking album to me personally.
Right.
So, I wasn't venturing out and looking for different styles of guitar players. I mean, I wanted the guys in the band and the sound that we're bringing to people, the product that we're giving to folks. I wanted it to reciprocate on the album, or if anything, I wanted it to mimic the freaking album.
I
Or the
never
album,
felt like it
to mimic
mattered
that.
either, though. Like as far as like, hey, look, this is what guitar has to sound like. I never felt like that was a thing, and it was never before in any other project I did. But
Yeah.
I
See-
really felt like I could just come in, play for you. You can give me a yay, nay,
Yeah.
and then we can move forward.
Now, Whiskey Talking and Feeling, I think, like they're just solid. Like
It
they
happened.
are. Yeah, it was very simple and it was just done. Now the next 5 songs that we are gonna get into, Sing Along and She Was Mine, I think, it's done. It happened. It was
Yeah.
it was recorded in 15 minutes, and that is how it should stay because it sounds so clean, so good, so fun. You know.
And that's also to touch on what you were saying, the home to me thing, because that's going to be a big part. We need to push that aspect on it because a lot of people don't understand that we're recording this on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights,
Yeah, that's a
Monday
big-
nights.
That's a
you
big
know.
thing I try to get people to understand, and especially those loyal people who are, man, when y'all gonna come up with some stuff? When y'all gonna release some stuff?
Dude, I hear it every day.
And it's
Every day.
it's mostly when people are if they text it or message it to me, I'm sitting at freaking work wishing I was doing it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's a-
exactly. Because me and you, we all text them. I'm always like, man, could
Yeah.
you imagine? And it was until we were here recording drums on Sunday
yeah.
so like this office, we're in a State Farm office, by the way, people.
We are.
My grandpa, it just made 1 year that he died. He was with State Farm for 51 years. whenever he made 51 years, the company just made 100 years.
Good Lord.
Crazy. Huh?
So he was there. I mean, he was.
Yeah. So like since I was a kid, I remember coming to this office, helping my dad cut the grass and throwing
Yeah.
this is
Uh-huh.
this is the place where I learned that my dad was like, I need you to pick up everything that's in the yard that's not grass.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would go do that, and he'd be like, I see a stick, a leaf, a branch. Why is that not picked up? You know? So like I feel like I became the person that I am in this office.
Yeah.
And the fact that I was able to also record drums for it.
Man, that is
And
cool.
it's called Home to Me in it.
I
You
think
know,
you
like,
had mentioned that to me, but not like you're saying it now.
yeah, because I mean we still look around and everything.
Yeah,
Like
we're
there's
moving
still
stuff out the way
it's
and-
still
Right.
getting moved, you know. We moved out everything, you know, and everything.
Right.
But it was just
That's pretty
a whole nother blessing to me to do it at my house
Mm-hmm.
and then to do it over here.
Shit, yeah.
For that to happen, man.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's your album at all. I feel like it's our album. Like honestly, like I
Yeah.
really don't.
Well, that's what I wanted.
Never
I mean,
think
I
of
wanted,
it like, oh, it's JP's album. It's got to be JP's way.
Yeah.
Like that's never been a thought to me. It's like, yeah, like I mean,
Well, even yeah,
like obviously, like it's your album, it's your
Yeah.
name. We're gonna give you the final approval, but
But that works so well for me because the first EP that I did, you know, like poor Robbie would ask me, how do you want this to sound? I don't know. You know, I gotta ask people. I don't know how to dictate that.
Mhm.
And that was, of course, 100% my being naive, but also I had no freaking clue. So I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
This time I was so adamant about I wanted to sound like we're playing it live, right? That was a huge thing for me.
And it does.
Still is. And you wouldn't believe, I know y'all hear the same shit I'm hearing, but when I hear it, South Dakota Wind is the biggest one for me. When I hear it kick off, I'm like, that's how exactly how it sounds on the record. That's exactly how it sounds live. Like that is just, that's it. You know, it's full circle for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I tell you what, boys, it's been a good time.
Yep.
This is the
Bedtime.
conversations that we always fucking have whenever we're just sitting
Yeah.
by the bed truck
No
after the
microphone,
studio
no
night and
camera.
everything. And I'm always like, man, this would be a podcast that
Right.
we need to do. So it's been great.
Yep. Love you, dog.
Love you.
we'll do it again.
So tune in. Hopefully by the beginning of this summer, we're going to be releasing the first part of JP Bourgeois' new album, Home to Me. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Fuck you, Nick Bourgeois.